Okay, hey everybody, welcome back. Last time I was playing CAIRN, some bad things happened, but we bounced back with the Peril Edelweiss. So there's something that I was gonna do. So last time I was gonna mention this. Um, I did not know that it wasn't showing my cam. I was too busy trying to focus on climbing. So forgive that little black square up in the corner. Hopefully that didn't mess up my last stream. Um, this time I'm either going to leave it on or I'm going to turn it completely off. You're not going to see it. One of the things I wanted to go over real quick before we start, I'm going to pull up my Steam achievements for this game. And I want you guys to know the current stats on things. So originally I had told everybody that it was 12% that made the summit. That's no longer the case. More people are making it to the summit, but a lot more people are playing. So it's possible that there's still the same percentage that's made it to the summit. But in the meantime, I'm going to go ahead and read some achievements real quick. So we have lick responsibly, become woozy from licking a frog. We've got 33.2%. All that glitters, find glow in the dark gloves, 29.1%. And I actually just watched a guy went up the crystal spiral, not a spiral, but the crystal cave. He went up there, and I don't think he actually grabbed the gloves. I don't remember for sure, but I'm pretty sure he passed them. They're easy to pass. So let's go to the third one. We have luxurious grip, compost coins. Only 10% as of today have that achievement. Okay, so then we go serious training. Open the box in the gym room. A lot of people are not seeing after they're doing the gym climb that you go over to this box. I actually passed it the first time I played. But you go over to this box and it unlocks after you do the 8 different climbs. There's technically 10, I think, if you do the A and the B. So that's 27.5% of players on that achievement currently, which means a lot of people have missed it. Bag Maniac. Did you really think you could keep your bag tidy? 22.7% have this achievement. Your story. This is another important one. If you guys make it up to the summit, before you do anything, review your route. You get a chance to review your route. Review it, because there's only 13.5% of players have that achievement. Part of the whole. Reach Cammy's summit. This is the one I was talking about. We're at 20.4% of the achievement. 24% of the whole of players. You're talking about a lot of players. There's just not a lot of people reaching the summit. And I think it's probably because a lot of them are wanting to see what happens if they choose to return to the ground with Marco. I actually didn't take that route yet. This is only my second time playing toward the summit. I've played the game several times, but this is only my second time, my second ascent, I should say. So we've got upstream, survive the avalanche. I'm not going to reveal too much about that, but only 22.1% of players survived that. And also, at the time that I had the 12%, it was showing that only 18% had survived it. So a little bit more people are surviving it, but it's mainly because we're getting a lot more players. So let's see. Neither a success nor a failure. Meet Damas Alfatri. That's another one. So what's interesting is people that are reaching the summit is 20.4, but 23.9% of people have met Damas Alfatri, and yet for some reason didn't summit. That means we've got, so if you have 20.4 to be part of the whole to reach the summit, and you've got 23.9, that means 3% of players are meeting him and never making it to the summit, which is crazy. I mean, 3% is not a lot, but that's a lot. That's a lot of people that are just, for whatever reason, not going to the summit. Neither a success nor a failure. That's Meet Demas. Okay, so light up the sky, shoot fireworks. 18.4% of players have this achievement. I did it. Reach Mini Cami Summit. This is another small one. It's probably easy to pass. I didn't even know it was there. 14.7% of players have reached this achievement. The secret. Find the third Guardian's Troglodyte Piton. So keep an eye out for these Troglodyte Pitons if you're on Alpinist, because the Troglodyte Pitons can be used again and again and again. And I think they're self-drilling. 21.4% for that. Return to the source. Catch a weird salamander. 22.8%. Heartbeat. Find an Edelweiss. 26.1% of players have this achievement. So that means that we have 6% more of people that are actually going up to the summit, but don't actually make it to the summit, not finding the Edelweiss. One hell of a night. Wake up on the mountain in top shape. 28.3. So a lot of people aren't sleeping and getting full rest and stuff. No thanks. Interrupt Marco's rambling. 29.2%. Close call. Survive to a near deadly fall. 31.7%. Hungry like a wolf. Loot food from a corpse. 41.3%. Everything else disappears. Witness an Aurora Borealis. 38.8%. So this is another one that's got me confused. We've got a lot of people going up there, but you're looking at roughly, 62% of people that are playing this game never even seeing the Aurora Borealis. And that is a cutscene with Marco. So there's a lot of people that just are not making it up there, I guess. Nurse, tape your fingers 20 times, 34.7%. Interloper on the wall, meet Marco, 57.7%. So that's another one that's interesting, is you meet Marco, so they're meeting Marco, but they're not actually making it to the point to watch the Aurora. Moment of cool. Take a breath at the waterfall. 59.9%. Kami sashimi. Catch a fish. 56%. Just a bit too late. Fall while planting a piton. 66.8%. Ain't scared. Jump from the ground and latch onto the wall. 70% of players. Picture for Chris. Use the photo mode. 34.4% of players have this achievement. That's another one. I'm noticing a lot of people, they're going up and they're climbing, but they're not using the camera mode. So I'm going to show you how to use the camera mode and how I get some of these beautiful screenshots, just in case anybody watches this and wants to know. Leave no trace. Compost 10 trash items, 67.2%. Those who come back down. Meet a broken climb bot, 77.3%. Mandatory warm-up. Complete training on Tenzin, 85.1%. Not even a scratch. Survived a 15-meter fall, 67.8%. Bird's eye. Check your route from the remote view mode, 84.6%. So the ones that I don't have are lactic acid, recover stamina by shaking your arm over 50 times, because I don't know how to actually do that on keyboard. End of the rope. Reach the furthest extent of the rope. It's because when I was climbing, I didn't go that far without placing the piton, and then this time around I don't have a rope. Siesta. Enjoy a nice outdoor nap. I didn't find an area to nap outdoors. Honest heist. Collect wild honey from the wall. I tried twice to do that, and I got up there, and both times my bag was still full, and I couldn't get into it. So I couldn't collect the honey, and so I went back down. Tried twice. Meteorologist, assemble 3 doll pieces. I completely skipped the doll the first time. That was just a lot of climbing. I wasn't unsure. Or I wasn't sure about where I was going or how to really play at that moment. This time around on solo, ain't no way I'm going to try to get 3 pieces for the doll when I'm literally just barely hanging on for my life to the wall. Red Rope Club, make an alcoholic cocktail. Now I know how to do that, I think, if I remember correctly. I don't know if I can though now because I got rid of that one beer can. Leap of Faith, run and jump into the void while on the rope. Now, I'm not real sure what the void is on that. Herbalist, cook the ultimate infusion. I haven't done that one yet. Doped Up, combine the effects of burst, grip, extra grip, focus, and grit in one go. Now that's probably easy to do, but you just got to have the food. And getting up to where we're at, food is becoming more scarce. Don't Stop Me Now, climb 30 meters without using a piton. I don't understand how you don't get this on solo, but I guess you have to do it on Alpinist, and you have to climb 30 meters without using a piton. Master Chocolatier, cook up an Easter egg. See, I don't know about the Easter egg. Engineer, craft 15 pitons from scraps. I'm really close to that. I got 9 of the 15. So, and then there's 9 additional achievements remaining that are hidden. So there's the achievement list for that, and I'll go ahead and start the climb now. Hopefully that gives everybody some useful information on this stream, and we'll go ahead and start the climb here. So I'm going to close my camera. And we will start. So I'm going to go to story, and we're going to continue the Palace of Wind. That's where I'm at. And I don't have a lot of confidence. I really don't. I hate to say it, but this is a really hard climb here. And I don't have a lot of confidence that I'm going to be able to make this. I really want to. And I've been up with the rope, but coming up this way with the rope, I fell a lot. So I'm really concerned about this climb. So I'm going to take my time. Last time I fell with the Peril Edelweiss, and here's why. This is what happened when I went to use the Peril Edelweiss, and because we're live, I can't do like a video throwback. I'll explain it. So one of the things you need to do when you're up here is be super, super, super careful. And crawling up towards that to try to grab that dandelion because I didn't have any food, I ended up coming down here. On the way back down, I couldn't reach it because my backpack was full. Well, when I bumped off the wall, I actually landed on this ledge just fine on my feet. So when I came back down the second time, when my bag was still too full for some reason, I thought I was going to land on my feet. And instead, she took an actual tumble off the mountain. And the Peril Edelweiss, of course, awakened, and I was able to come back up. So that was the only sus thing that happened that really just destroyed that climb for the day for me. So we're here again. There's something there. Nettle. See? Look at that. And that's something else. Nettle went right into my bag. But that dandelion up there would not go into the bag. So my hands are already sweating at this climb. But this is where I went up last time. And if you look on the map, if you hit tab and you check map with T, you can kind of see that there is, I can't really zoom out, but yeah, I can't really zoom out. There is a climb bot up there is damage. That's actually what starts the Peril chapter. But you have to be able to make it up there to start. Let's look at my stats. They're already dwindling. That wind is really coming in. And I have to be 100% honest with you. I'm pretty nervous about this climb. Because there ain't no coming back on this one. I'm going to look around here for a second. I don't know if you can actually... There are climbing routes to go up this way. I just don't know if I should. Get the map. See, white is harder. That's the hardest. That's the one all the way over there on the right. That's the one, the way that I went up the first time. And I fell a lot. It looks like I can try to go up the purple route. Alright. We just have to commit to this, guys. Just gotta commit to it. As nervous as I am, we gotta do it. And the one of the reasons why I'm a little bothered is in reading on the forums, they said there's definitely a bug with stamina where sometimes she just falls for no reason. And even if you're standing on something that's perfectly flat, but I'm gonna dig in and we're gonna about to climb. I don't like that. I'm not gonna do that. We're going up. Sometimes they have her moving limbs that I don't even... I'm not really wanting to move.
Strapping down.
That wind is blowing hella hard. Gotta start paying attention here. I was gonna tell you guys, I've been watching some mountain climbing videos. I follow Eddie Hall, and Eddie Hall, apparently he had posted a video that he did with Magnus, which is a very famous mountain climber. And after watching his video and him climbing with Magnus, somebody in the comments had mentioned a really cool video of Magnus climbing with Alex Honnold. And if you don't know who Alex Honnold is, he's a very well established free climber, solo free climber. I don't know if I'm on the right route. We're getting there. So he's a well-established free climber. Alex is... Yeah, that's a smear. We don't want to do that. Let's not do that. And so, watching him climb with him, like, that was... You think this game is nerve-wracking. I can't imagine what Magnus was thinking, especially it being his first free climb like that. That was pretty damn intense. I'm really, like, amazed that he was able to hold it together like that. He admits several times that he was very scared on that climb. That was a good video to watch. Let me check where we're at on the route. Okay, I think this is it. We're supposed to go up here.
I could have been a decent cave painter, actually.
Yeah, we don't want to do that. It's a bit of a smear there. So the guy that I mentioned that one time when I was talking to you guys about a guy that I was watching playing this, his name's Scrapman. He's got a really cool series, and you should definitely check it out. I don't know how we're supposed to. Can't really reach that. Keep your hand there. Let's see if we can put our foot there. Get it into the crack. See where we're at on the route. So we're heading about the right way. A little handhold there, I didn't really see it. That's not good. So when you first start back, especially after not playing for a few days, it's a little nerve-wracking. There's a few things, though, that I've learned playing. I'm going up this way if it'll let me. So we'll put our foot in there. It's not a super great hold, but trying to get her to get a solid plant so we can take a break. There we go. I'm not quite on the route, but I'm there, so we're gonna roll with it.
Right on.
I think we can swing it by going straight up here and then going over, but it's actually showing to be the harder area for some reason. I don't know if we'll do that, Ava. Grab onto that first. Move your leg over this way. Now we'll grab onto here. Put your hand in there. It sort of worked. think we're too close to that hold to get the foot in there. Yeah, too close. Let's see if we can get it in there. Okay. I do not like that, but let's see where we lead to. Yeah, we don't want to go up that way. We need to try to get back over.
I feel a gust coming.
Okay, we're heading back over. A good hold there. Gonna leave her hand there. A foot there. Get that foot into that crack. That's a solid hold. Let's get both of those things on that. There. Let her rest for a second. And it's supposed to be straight up from here. Like I said, when I was on Alpinus, granite was scary, but or that might not actually be granite. I don't know what it is exactly, but it was a scary climb.
Oh, this is not the time. Stop beeping right now. Stop it! I need to focus!
Why, Baba? asking myself that question. It's just stuck in my head. Why? Why did you leave? Why do you feel the need to climb that big, stupid rock? And why does it affect me so much? Capsule died 2 days ago. He was only 9 years old, can you believe it? He still had a nice life ahead of him. He spent his last night at the vet. You should have seen him in his cage. All skin and bones. Drugged up. He could barely walk. But he recognized me, Ava. And he tried to snuggle up to me. When the time came, the vet asked me if I wanted to leave the room. Why would I let him go alone? I stayed, of course. And then, at the end, I held him against me. I told him I loved him. And his body, his little body collapsing into my arms. You can't forget that feeling. Anyway, once again, I am breaking your concentration, but I would love to know, Ava. Why?
Ah! 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 She doesn't get it. She doesn't get any of it.
There were some mixed opinions about that phone call, and I'll say that personally, if it was someone that you knew, and so like pets are usually like family to a lot of people, especially like to me. And I remember about how I felt when my cat had passed away. It was pretty sad, so I can imagine that if she's calling her about that, it wasn't so much to try to break her concentration and make her feel bad. It was more that she just wanted somebody to talk to and relate to about losing essentially what would have been a loved one as a pet, you know. And so a lot of people are like, well, it's not like it was like a family member or whatever, and even then there's nothing she can do about it. Well, of course there's nothing she can do about it. But also, they don't know where she's at on the mountain. They don't know what she's doing. And they were just trying to reach out to Ava in that moment, I think. I'm trying to figure out where we're going. It's really somber music throughout the game. She's putting her feet in places she's not supposed to be doing right now. Yeah, that's bullshit. I don't know. Yeah, that's why I was really nervous about that. Well, let's see, return to main menu, restart from start. So it doesn't really matter. So that's as far as I made it on the solo. I'm going to go ahead and review the route real quick to show you guys who haven't played this yet some places you may want to be careful. This area I would learn from right here. I had an issue that came up with this. So as you cross this bridge right here, once you cross this bridge, like it looks good and everything, and you go up and you come into this room, and when you come into this room, there's a bivouac point, right? But there's no water, and so it forces you to go up. Well, when you go up, and you go up this wall here just at the middle of these stairs, and we come up, what we see in here is where the water's at. Well, now you have water, and you have a way to cook, but you don't have a bivouac point to cook in. And if you come through here and you go down this hallway, because you're going to be out of food by then, in this pot here, there were some chocolate bars, and I tried to grab them, and I couldn't. The backpack was just too full. On Soloist, you have a very small backpack. Okay? So, I had the option to climb back down at that point and risk falling, because climbing down is really, really risky, especially in this game. And go back in there and cook that, and lose what I did have of hunger to cook some stuff that may not even give me that much hunger. Or I could continue the ascent. And that's what I did. I continued up to the bivouac point. I cooked, and then I went over here to this door here. And let's see. I don't remember what was in here. So there was a bivouac point in here as well. And I got just some bandages for my fingers. But I was running out of food. And so this is what happened, and I want you guys to understand how I died that first time with the Edelweiss, so that you don't do it yourself. So when you're running out of food, and I did make that decision to go back down, and I pushed on, I needed a plant. Well, there was a dandelion up here on this. Where is it? It was there. There was a dandelion right here on this cliff. This little thing right above the windows thing. And I tried to crawl up this, and this is not hard to climb. But I got up there, and the backpack was full. So, just like with trying to get the honey dipper, I couldn't get it because the backpack was full. And so, I had to climb back down. And when I climbed down, on that just simple down climb, I ran out of stamina so fast that she just fell. And she landed on her legs. She landed on her feet. So she was standing. So I said, alright, I'm going to readjust my bag. So I did. And I still didn't have enough room. I crawled all the way up there, got to the dandelion, tried to grab it. Still didn't have enough room in the pack. And as I was coming back down, and you can watch this in that last video. As I was coming back down, I was climbing down. I popped off the wall again. And when I did, I thought it was going to land on my feet. Well, she actually landed on her back and rolled over and popped off the mountain and fell to her death. And so that's when I used the Edelweiss. And then at this point, you saw the climb take place here. Well, what happened here, and you can see from the video, you can back it up if you want. I was trying like hell to get her feet on that ledge, and they would not go on the ledge. I tried 3 times to get her feet to go on that ledge, and so I stepped over here to this ledge, and it didn't matter. It didn't matter if her feet were planted solid on that ledge or not. The arms didn't matter. There was no solid 3 points of contact for the game, and it just gave way, and I fell. And when I did, I hit that ledge down there, which, even though it wasn't that far below me, still killed me. So, learn from my mistake, because I made it all the way up here, and those were the mistakes that I made, and I hope that helps somebody make a better decision. I was trying to do the easiest of the, not easiest, but the easier of the routes. I don't have the map to see it now, but this route is pretty dangerous. This area right here, I don't know if it was just that wasn't a solid cliff for her to put her feet on. I mean, you can see the ledge right there. You can see that there was plenty of room for her feet there. Yet she still fell. So this is a really hard point. This is the point I think most people fall. And in Alpinist, I can show you my route there as well. And we'll do that since, I mean, the climb's over at this point. I'm considering restarting as an Alpinist to get more familiarized with the mountain. especially after watching Scrapman. So let me go back to main menu. I'm not going to restart from the point, and I'm going to show you in the exact same area. Press Alpinist. I'm going to show you on Alpinist how the same kind of stuff was going on in the dangerous areas on that. So we'll just go. I don't mean to ruin this for anybody. So if you haven't played it all the way through to the point where I was at, I don't know if it's entirely up to you if you want to look away or not, but I'm doing this to help people because obviously there's a big problem, people trying to reach the summit. So I figured a little help video is better than none. This is a pretty difficult area. Even as an alpinist, you can see all these red arrows are where I fell on alpinist. Just a really difficult area when you first start to play the game. You don't know what you're doing. Up here, I've showed this before, but so we got several falls here. Couldn't figure it out. I decided to come out here, and this just was a spaghetti monster. But I managed to make it up. It would have been so much easier probably to just come in here somewhere and do it. Again, spaghetti monster. This is an important part though right here, because I was running out of food because I wasn't climbing all that fast, and that's another mistake new climbers will make. You don't gather that much food, and then you start to take a little bit too much time. This area was really difficult. So what I did was I came up here from this ledge. Well, you can see where I came across this ledge right here, and I went up, and I would get here, and I would be so out of water that I could not get up this, and I would pass out. And what I would do was I would rappel back down and get over to this cliff and go ahead and eat and drink what I did have left, and then I just absolutely pushed. And it was raining and everything else, and I had no pitons to be able to put into this wall because this is not, you can't put pitons in that kind of rock. And I literally just pushed through, like I was about to black out until I got to like right there at this point. I think it was this one. Anyway, it looks a lot like it. And then this area is pretty slick right here. It wasn't too bad to get up. You can see that there were 2 times that I died here. And most of the deaths that I had on this mountain was because I wasn't putting in pitons. I was trying to cover too much area too quick without adding pitons. And that's something you'll learn watching Scrapman. If you just take your time, and when you don't feel safe, put in a piton, you won't die. So this lake up here is where you meet Marco again. You meet him on that first area where I told you it was kind of dangerous. But as you come up from the bivouac point, which is not really a bivouac point because you're just eating with Marco, but as you come up from there, I was trying to crawl up this, and I fell so many times because it was just, how the heck do you get up this, you know? What I learned right there was there's a reason why they don't want you to get up certain areas, because they want you to go other ways so you see other things like this. And for those of you who have played, you know what that is. So that's why I fell so many times there. And then we came to the part here where this is the make or break of your climb. To be honest, it really is. This is just a tough spot. And don't really know how much more to say it. Unless you show up fully fed and hydrated, and you skip these points and you go straight for the gold, you're probably going to have a hard time in this area as well. And this fall right here was because there's a part at which the bird like shows up. He's like, "Are you gonna take my eggs? Are you gonna take my eggs?" Well, if you take his eggs, you kind of pay the piper. That's what I'm gonna say. Doesn't necessarily mean you will fall like I did, but if you take his eggs, you're probably gonna fall. So this is just a really difficult area to climb in, and like I said, this is Alpinist we're looking at here, so this is with pitons. I got all the way over here, and I went straight up this, and I wanted to see what the black route was all about, or the white route, I should say, because that was the hardest route. And as you can see, coming up through here, this was crazy difficult, because I was starving, and thirsty, and I just kept falling and falling and falling. It only shows 4 falls, but there were a hell of a lot more falls because I was reloading the game, so I didn't lose hunger as I was trying to get up the wall. So you get up past this point, and you're able to move over to this ledge, then you have to go all the way up, and it leads to right about there. And then this is a point at which, again, you meet up with Market. But, and I'm not going to go any further because I don't want to ruin it for anybody else, but that's a difficult area. It's a very difficult climb. Even with pitons, you can see how many times I fell, so I can't imagine how many times somebody on solo is going to fall on this wall before they actually make it up. Solo is pretty difficult. It's not that hard, but it's difficult because you're not just climbing with how the game is set. You're climbing against bugs. So whereas you might be fully rested, and you've seen me take multiple rests, and I always try to not move until she's rested, but for whatever reason she gets fatigued. And I did find out, learning from the forums, that each limb has its own fatigue. So that's a little handy tip for you guys. But on that note, I don't think that I'm going to. It's a toss-up. I don't know that I'm going to restart solo because that is a doozy. I might do the piton climbing just to get more familiar with the mountain. There's some places that I wanted to go that I'm seeing Scrapman go into that I never got to go into because I didn't really understand how to play the game just yet. So I'm showing all this so you guys can learn from my mistakes. But on that note, I'm going to go ahead and go back to the main menu. And I think what we're going to do I really want to beat it on solos. I think what I'll do is start a new game for solo. I'm going to keep that one available so I can learn from my mistakes. That save slot. And we're going to skip the practice area. And I'm just going to try to push and see how far I can get. Because there's people that have literally made it to the summit in an hour and 15 minutes or something. So I'm confident that...
Play the message.
Hey, it's Naomi. Just making sure you got this before you're too high up.
We're going to skip
I wanted
this.
To say...
And I'm just going to make that push to try to get up
All
there.
right, let's start from here.
And this is not on auto climbing. I'm still on manual climb. I just want to see how fast I can actually push to get up this mountain. Solo climb. A lot of pushing W and moving that mouse, I can tell you that. Pushing W, A, S, D, moving that mouse. But I know that there's record players, so I'm just gonna try to see how fast I can get up this thing. And maybe I can reach back to my point within a day or so. I don't know. Kind of irritated because I really wanted to get that solo climb. I've learned a lot. It's just a difficult route, I guess. I'm gonna let her breathe and then we're just gonna push. So each breath after her deep breaths, I'm starting to think I'm starting to see is more a full break on each stamina bar for each of her limbs. So for each additional breath she takes after those major breaths is probably her limbs resetting and each stamina bar for them.
Let's do this.
We're trying. Easier holds, I think, at the start on that initial wall. But there's advantages and disadvantages of climbing with pitons. So we're here at the top, and we can start. He gets winded so easily. Probably faster than this slow walk. But if people can make that summit with their people can make the summit with automatic limb selection in an hour on solo. And I think I can cover what ground that I've covered and get back to where I'm set pretty quick. I'm a lot more confident now that I know that I've made it that far. It sucks that I fell, but I think it's just going to be part of how you learn. We're going back.
Perfect spot. Where do I start?
I already have a stamina. How you doing there? What you got, gameplay? You just missed an important part. I don't know if you were watching or not, but I fell. So we're restarting from the very beginning outside of the climb jam, and I'm just trying to make a solid push back to where I was at as quickly as possible. Berry milk. Probably use those, but I'm not. Let's see. You get rid of this camera, for damn sure. Take the sickening slop. But I think you can still actually cook that. Oh, so this game is a mountain climbing game. It's a story mode mountain climbing game. And so you have the option of starting as alpinist with a rope and pitons, and you can, you know, go on belay and stuff to rest, or you can do solo. And right now I'm doing solo climb because I've already made the summit on the gameplay. Let's see if I can get this damn bottle. Looks like I can't. So I'm gonna try to save our stamina a little bit here. There's a bee cave down there I can get some stuff from, but I'm not gonna do all that. I'm pulling out all the stops.
Sorry, ladies.
I'm trying to just get straight up the mountain as quickly as possible. And try to regain as much ground as possible in as little time as possible. There's people that are doing this on auto limb selection who are making the summit in an hour and 15 minutes, I think. But I'm not on auto selection. I'm manually selecting each limb. And so it's a little bit more methodical. It takes a lot more time, but it's a lot more realistic in terms of climbing.
Hey Arthur, this is Chris. So do you ever respond to voicemail? We have no way to know your location. And the sponsors are breathing down my neck. I've been waiting for pictures forever. Can you at least confirm you've taken a few? It's hard enough for them to advertise your performance without any images. But if on top of that you're not giving any news, you know they'll start foaming at the mouth. Anyway, get back to me when you have a chance. I hope everything's okay, and my messages aren't making you angry. No need to deny it, I'm starting to know you. I'm just trying to do a decent job, is all.
Oh, you're gonna be so mad when you find out what I did to that camera.
So when I fell there, that was kind of a stupid thing. It's just she's just tired. You don't actually have to stop and rest most of the time if you just constantly push, but if you constantly push and you hit the wrong holds, you're going to fall. It's going to be kind of detrimental to the climb. So it's really not worth it to just spam buttons.
Oh, yes.
Does take a little bit of thinking. There we go. Get some water. Spring. Try to keep moving. Not the greatest holds, but I'm pushing. Come on, get your foot in there. She's just all over the place right now. I'm gonna try to be a little bit more methodical. Don't have any room for that water cannon, I don't think. Let's see. Bounce the bag a little bit to try to make room, but I really don't know if I need that. Can of water. I'll check your message here in just a second. I can't see in my chat, so I'll tab out. Get your foot on the mountain. There we go. My legs are kind of being a little crazy, but there's some gentian. Can we pick it up, please? See, it'll still give. It says -5 health, but if you cook this, it's worth something. That's why I grabbed it. We'll just leave the gentian there and I have it. This guy fell, just like I did. He's got a letter on him. He's got a map. Let's see. Go ahead and look and grab this map.
I'm sorry,
still
friend.
there.
Sometimes you come for the mountain. Sometimes the mountain comes for you.
So there's the mountain for the climb. I'm not gonna worry about that. Let's see if I can grab that dandelion. Nope. That's alright. We don't need it. Not the greatest holds, but I'm making it happen. I'm making it happen. Oh, what are you doing? Oh, let's not do that. She went spaghetti leg there for a second. Don't know what she was doing. Smear that. I'm trying to get over that way, actually. There we go. Those feet and those cracks. Move. Breathe. Man, we really ought to try to move over. I can make it up that though, I think. I think I can get up that.
Right on.
Can you move your freaking leg? Nope. 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 Higher. Yeah. I'm gonna try to make it happen. Take your breath for a second. Alright, let's see what's going on here. Oh, yeah. Thanks, man. Appreciate it. Yeah, it's definitely a different cut of cloth, but I had taken an interest in mountain climbing some years ago before I ended up sick and all that jazz. And this game just kind of spoke to me. I was kind of like, yeah, I want to try that game out. And like I said, I already beat it, the summit. We can get her leg off there, maybe. There we go. I already made it up to the summit on Alpinist using the pitons. It took me 5 days to get up there. With the pitons. And so, after I beat it, I thought, yeah, I want to try solo and see what that's all about. So, I've been doing this solo, and I had 3 days worth of climbs into the solo, and I fell. And I didn't just fall once, I fell twice. Once was due to some bogus stuff, and then the other time, I just lost my footing and fell. Kind of like I'm trying to do now here. So she's got stamina on each of her limbs. It's not just her herself that has the stamina. Come on, get up there. There.
Things are about to get serious.
Alright, let me check my food. Food's getting a little low. I'm gonna bivouac in real quick and eat this flop. And I'm just gonna keep pushing. I'm gonna skip this cutscene. If you're interested in the cutscenes and stuff and you want to check it out, I have 2 other streams where I was climbing it on solo, but on this one I'm just trying to cover a lot of ground fast so I can get back to where I was at. So we'll cook. Where's that slop? Thickening slop. I thought you could cook that. I guess you can. We cook this freeze-dried veggies. This is a fairly new game. It came out like 2 weeks ago, I think it is. Like February 2nd or something. We got some berry milk here. I'm gonna save that because it's like our only source of food. And we'll make some hot cocoa, I guess. Should have made some gentian actually, now that I think about it. Because gentian a little bit better for you. For your health. So we'll not consume that, but store that. Because our frost level's good. Hydration's not super great, but it's good. And I think while we're here, we'll go ahead and tape our fingers up if we have any extra tape. We do. So it says that they're looking good, but I don't trust that. We're just gonna go ahead and tape them, just because I'm gonna be moving quick. So. And I'll probably use a lot more chalk on this climb than I ever did before. Yeah, my streams, man, are just me taking my time and just playing the game. Scrapman, he's playing the game, but he's also exploring as he's playing, and so he's using his pitons and he's going in pretty much everywhere to just fully explore the game. And he's also a climber himself, so let me see where we can go here. We'll go up here. So I've been up to that before, climbing out of there. I actually climbed my own route out of that. And this looks like this is gonna just take us right up to the top. It's wet, but I think it'll be alright. I'm not making the wisest of decisions as I'm climbing to get there, but I've passed these points, so I know I can get up past them. I'm just trying to take the most efficient, quickest routes right now. I don't really care what route I'm taking, I just want to get there and try to get back to where I was at before I died. And maybe have a second chance at it. So the routes that you're seeing me take, they're probably not the ideal routes for anybody that's just playing. These are probably risky as hell, because as you can see, every time I'm grabbing something, rocks are falling. It's not supposed to do that. Good holds should not do that, which means these routes suck. But I'm still taking them. Let me see. We want to get onto that, because that's prime real estate right there. When I say that, I mean it's got a lot of holds here. Can she reach that? I don't know if she can. Put your feet in there.
No freaking way!
It wasn't that high of a fall. So we started over here. We should have worked our way back over that way is what we should have done. Trying to be a little bit more methodical. Coming up this time, we'll go this way. That was the wrong way to go to start. I was just moving. Trying to get somewhere fast. And doing that'll get you nowhere fast sometimes. Let's see. Yeah, that's kind of good. I think we can get up to that. Got to get into there. Move that foot here. That there. Take a break for a second. Maybe? Yeah. We've got our 4 points of contact. Yeah, it's an awesome game, man. It really is. The stuff that I'm doing is pretty damn risky, but it's, like I said, I'm just trying to gain as much ground as possible. I'm taking some routes that I normally would not have taken to see if I can gain a little extra ground with a little bit of extra risk. This is... Looking here, I don't see any holds on this side. I may have to scoot over. A hold. I don't see one, so I'm gonna have to just dig in. And go for the push. Yeah, if I fall off this point, she'll die. I gotta be a little bit more careful. She's already gassing out on her legs, that's not good. Not the greatest foothold, but I need to move.
Hey Arthur, guess who's back? I'm sure you miss me terribly. I know that you are the one doing all the work. I'm quite aware of that. But we're a team, and I do my part too. So don't forget about me, okay? Give me some news. Anything. I'm really not asking for much.
Now I got the rain coming down. This is gonna be bad. I could go over that way, but that looks like I can get up, so I'm trying to make it. Be a little bit more careful here on these holds. We get her foot. This is a bad place to be in the rain. No. There we go. There we go. He is not getting stamina back on that leg. I'm a little bit worried about that. Let me get up into that. Oh shit. Yeah, she's toast. Well, that goes to show you what happens when you try to... Oh, did she not die? Oh, damn near died. She blacked out. Yeah, so that's the reason why you have to choose your
Oh,
routes wisely.
fuck.
I just am trying to push as quickly as possible, and it's not wise to do that. But should be alright. I say that as I just took a major fall. Should be fine. Okay, so that way is not the way. What they actually want you to do is this. You're supposed to go up here, but I'm just stubborn. You're supposed to go up that. And even that with pitons is a difficult climb. I don't know how that didn't kill her, to be honest. That was quite a fall. Can we get that hand there? She's just tired and out of stamina. And they're running out of drink ain't helping. Trying to get that hand selected. Alright. Well, yeah, we'll go up the way that wants us to go up. I didn't want to do that. Don't really see much way around. So it looks like I'm not going to get back to where I was within that short amount of time. Based on the fall, but it also is just a piss poor decision to go up that way. I just am trying to rush, so rushing and mountain climbing don't mix. Good holds there. One of these areas I remember was a real pain in the ass to get up, even with pitons. I want to say it was like this ledge here. Hang on a minute, let's drink. Let's see. That'll buy us a little bit of time. Put on there. Can't see shit. I think I see where that might work, but need legs if we can. Doing some weird stuff. Can we get that into that? Wait, no. No. That's as high as that's gonna go. Get your footing! Oh my god. She gone. I can use the Edelweiss. We're not gonna do that. We're not gonna do that. We'll just die. Go back to main menu.
Oh. Play the message.
Skip that. The reason why I skipped the Edelweiss is because the Edelweiss is a second chance when you
All
really
right.
want a second
Let's start
chance.
from here.
It's not something that you want to just use. I didn't make it that far. I was only maybe 10 minutes, 20 minutes. So I'm gonna just redo it. This start wall is pretty easy to find holds on. It's a matter of her actually grabbing them. What I'm curious of is the automatic climb. I want to check that out and see just what the difference is between manual selection and automatic. So I'm going to toggle that on. Go to settings, just gameplay. And we'll turn manual selection off for now just to see how much more of a challenge it is, if any, with regular. Look at that. He's moving. So yeah. I see now how people are doing this super fast, easy time summit. You turn manual selection off, it automatically puts her hands in the right spots, which is not very methodical if you ask me, but it also can screw you and not put it in the right spot, as you can see. I just wanted to check and see what that manual or non-manual is all about, where it's automatic. No, we're not going to use that. That's fine. I just wanted to see what that was all about. Let's see. Escape. The main menu. Of course it's in. We've got Twisted Bridge. And we're going to delete this one because this is did not make it very far at all on that. Start the new ascent. We'll do free solo. We'll skip the practice. Matter of fact, I'm thinking about it. I might just restart the stream on this because I'm not going to be streaming all night, but I want the actual climb to be on its own video.
All right, let's start from here.
How far are we into stream? Okay, so we're an hour and 36 minutes into gameplay. Somebody with automatic limb selection could have actually already made it to the summit in that amount of time. that's how much difference there is in that. So I think automatic is still on. Let me see. Settings, gameplay, manual selection's off. I'll only let her catch her breath, and I'm gonna go back to my own selection of the limbs. Let's see, where is it? Settings, gameplay. Manual limb selection. And I like manual limb selection a lot better than I do that automatic crap. It might work for people trying to rush to the summit, but if you're actually trying to play the game
Great.
and be methodical about where you're going to place your hands and feet, I don't recommend the automatic. Even if you are a new player, I don't recommend it. Because I can move pretty much, I mean, pretty close to about that speed. It's just you got to be really careful. One thing I noticed is the faster you climb, he seems not to use stamina as quick. She holds on to ledges a little bit longer than what she would normally before she falls. But, I don't know why she's doing that. Probably her foot. So what I do when I'm climbing is I give her 4 breaths and then her 4 additional breaths. If you want to make a lot of ground, my advice is don't rush, watch your feet, watch your holds, and pay attention to what, like I'm getting both of these holds dropping rocks underneath me. Anytime you see that, those are bad holds. I'm gonna let her breathe. And I wish I knew what the button was for shaking out your hands for keyboard, but I don't know. I didn't see. Get on this ledge real quick, and I'll look and see if I can find a setting. I didn't see one, but we'll go to settings, gameplay. No, we don't get controls, right? Yeah, I don't see one for shaking out her hand on keyboard. But I see everybody on console shaking out her hands. Which in climbing, it's supposed to do something about the lactic acid buildup in your hands, which prevent you from keeping your grip. That's a bad hold. I'm not gonna keep that. When I'm playing, I try to stick to the cracks. I try to keep every limb stuck in a crack. And I just kind of move one thing at a time and let things just kind of float a little bit before moving anything else. It's a little bit more methodical, takes a little bit more time, but as you can see, playing like this is what got me to where the main area was that most people die in. To me, it's worth it just to take a little bit more time with what you're doing. see we're already back at the start of the game. It's almost not worth running because our stamina is too low. For those of you guys who never played this game, I can tell you this game will teach you patience if you let it. Because your patience pays off. I don't know how long I'll play tonight. I think what I might do, I'll let this intro finish, and then I'm going to end the stream because we're already pretty late in the stream. I'd hate people to be watching and expect me to get to the top and just see if I can die and get the start. So, I'll end the stream, restart it at the bottom of the mountain pretty much because this is pretty much the bottom. Gonna take my time again and be methodical about it. But I am gonna pull the stops out. I'm not gonna bivouac and save everywhere. Okay.
Perfect spot. Where do I start?
So we'll end the stream here. And then I'm going to restart it, like I said, because if anybody's tuning in, I want them to be able to see the game from the start when they watch the video after the stream ends. So I'll start the stream again in just a second.